Hey guys, you've got Darren Little here with the MLM Superheroes, and I'm live right now with Desmond Soon, a peak performer, a top income earner. And guys, what I want to do here on this, we're just going to have a little bit of an open forum here. And I want for you to really understand, what does it take? What does it really take if you want to get your business from a starting point and break inertia and get into liftoff so that you can start to make a full-time income? Now, this is a really, really interesting story because Desmond actually started working his business, like most people, on a very part-time basis. But when I say part-time, guys, you got to understand what part-time actually means. Because if you don't have that front end inertia, right? If you don't have that compressed energy, you will never get into liftoff with your business. So Desmond, welcome to the call.
Hey man, always a pleasure to hang out with you, Darren. I'm really excited to, we were having a discussion, right, on the phone, and then we were just talking about this stuff, and like the light bulb went off for both of us, and we're like, well, why don't we just jump on a hangout, and just share this with everyone, because I think a lot of people, like you said, just don't really realize how much initial inertia they need to get off the ground. And we started off that discussion because we care about a lot of people. I know you care about a lot of people. And you started off by complimenting me, calling me up, just, how fellow leaders do, right? You called me up, we're both working at home. It's a beautiful sunny day in Vancouver. We're not commuting, right? We get to enjoy all this stuff, but our heart hurts because we help a lot of people and we want them to be able to enjoy these kind of freedoms as well. It sucks to be able, to go out and sit at the beach. I mean, it's fun initially, but after a while you look around and you just see a bunch of old people, and you'd rather have a bunch of your friends and other people that have succeeded. So you and me have reached that. You and me get to hang out. We've gone out in Chicago, we hung out, we drink wines, we enjoy good foods. We've gone for dinners here in Vancouver. But what about other people, right? That's the issue that we were talking about on that phone call before we got on this. So thank you. It's a pleasure to get on here and share that. But yeah, why don't you go ahead and tell them more about what we talked about, Darren?
Well, one of the things that I really want to cover, and I'm sure that you can confirm what I'm saying here, Desmond, is that people get into any type of a home-based business and they think first that it's about selling products, pitching people on their business opportunity. And what I've found over the years, 25 years now of doing this type of a business model, that this is really a personal development, leadership business model. And you really have to have this right here on the right path. If this is not in check, if you don't get control of your self-talk, if you don't get control of what you're actually speaking into the reality, if you don't get control of this right here, your emotions, the physiology in your body, to get that lift off, it's almost impossible, guys. I'll be honest with you. It's almost impossible. So you really have to get the mindset down. That's why I tell people, you got to focus on daily personal development. The inner circle audios, the half hour of reading. It's so critical to get your business into momentum. And if that's not there, if you don't have that, typically what happens is that you start with self-defeating self-talk. It's like, oh, it'll never work. Oh, I've been doing this and I'm not making any money, right? That's the human condition, guys. Now, Des, maybe you can share a little bit about that from your experience.
I want to also be transparent, Darren. I mean, you've done this for 25 years. I believe I'm somewhere around about 21 years, right? But even just say within the organization we're with right now, for me, it's been 2 years. And guys, I have a confession to make. I go through the same doubts. I mean, Darren and me were on the phone. Part of our discussion, because we can't really share this with anyone else. Once you get to the higher levels, you normally communicate with running mates or mentors and stuff like that. So Darren and me were sharing a bit of our insecurities as well, right? And I'm going like, damn, why is this not happening for me, right? So we go through the same stuff, right? We go through the same stuff just like you, but the difference is we have so much more fuel and you know, we've had so much more experience at learning how to deal with these ups and downs, these ebbs and waves and stuff like that. I made a video recently. I uploaded it on my timeline. I put it on my YouTube channel, and I talked about the 4 evils, or the 4 reasons why everyone fails, like entrepreneurs fail. And I just really gave a very summarized version, but Darren hit most of the points right there. The 4 evils are the financial instability and insecurity, the lack of finances, not underestimating how much it costs, the emotional instability. So that comes down to the personal development, the positive thinking, looking for the gold, the silver lining in things, is the cup half empty, half full, you know, all those kind of things. You don't realize this, but people that are successful, right, who have made it to a certain level of success, have mastered controlling these things. It doesn't mean shit doesn't happen in our lives. Things happen. Family members die. Car accidents happen. You know, people get you know, diagnosed with cancer, right, and incurable diseases or whatever happens. But we just learn how to roll with the punches, and our why is so much bigger that it just overcomes all this stuff. The next one I talked about was the health issues, right? Again, so I just touched a bit on the health issues. Health will happen. I got sick. I had bronchitis. You know, doctors have told me that I was gonna die. All those kind of things, right? Physical ailments. You know, the car accident thing. If you can't walk, you can't move. And then the last but not least, the time management, right? The time prioritization. You know, oh, I don't have time for this. I don't have time. So we were talking about all these things, guys. And if you can't master these things, or it's not even about mastering it, it's about stabilizing them, right?
Yes.
Life is gonna happen, right, Darren? I mean, you can't control all these things, but just as long as you don't let these things get out of control, that they overcome and take over your life and distract you, that's one of the first things I would say is the most important thing for them. And then after that, let's get into the inertia, talking about that inertia, right, Darren? Do you want me to touch on that right now? Do you want me to start, you know, letting them know about that inertia thing we talked about?
Back to just a little bit on the stuff that you're talking about here, about the mindset, the personal development. Guys, here's what I'm going to share with you. The interesting thing, the difference between the conventional world where people, they go to university and they're learning, right? And then they finish university and they start doing. And then they get really, really good at something and then they start teaching. This business model that we're in, you have to actually do all 3 things simultaneously. Okay, so you've got to be learning something and then immediately start doing it and then start teaching what you just learned. That's
Darren, we're doing that right now.
Exactly. That's really truly the key. So, you know, the mindset is critical. It's critical, guys. You got to be able to hear your self-talk. What are you saying to yourself every morning that you get up? Because see, when I get up in the morning, I already have this vision that I'm going to have at least $1,000 day in my mind. I already have this vision that I'm going to have $1,000 day, and that's it, period, right? So my body, my physiology of my body is expecting it. It's expecting that's going to happen. It's expecting that I'm going to generate leads. It's expecting that I'm going to get enrollments, right? So,
but Darren, can I interrupt for a second, Darren?
Yeah.
I say I'm a brand new person, and I agree with you, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second because, you know, we always hear from the newbies and stuff. Darren, I'm brand new. I don't know, man. I don't have 27 years, 25 years like you do. I've never made even a $1,000 day. How can I wake up and visualize that, Darren? I'm happy for you, but, you know, I can barely even think about $100 day. Or even having 1 lead come into my autoresponder. What would you recommend I do then in that case, Darren?
Okay. The first thing that you have to do is you have to be able to lasso your physiology from your future into your body right now. Okay. So what I typically tell my students is you've got to put yourself into a wealth vibration. You've got to say to yourself, okay, what if? So here's an extreme. Here's an extreme of that. If I was to hand you right now a check for $10 million and you knew that you had $10 million cash in the bank right now, your mortgage is paid off, everything, your cars, all your bills, expenses, they're all paid off. What would be different? What would be different? Would you walk differently? Would your shoulders be back differently? Would your voice come out differently with confidence? What would be different if right now, right this second, you had $10 million in the bank right now? Okay, so there's going to be a difference between your physiology prior to me saying that and your physiology after me saying that, right? And the majority of that's going to be what you're thinking about, because it starts to shift your thoughts, it starts to shift your emotions, and it starts to shift how you interact in the world. So if you could be that person, if you could be that person right now, lassoing that future reality into your body right now. So if you had $10 million cash in the bank right now, all your bills are paid, you could actually probably go to a Bentley dealership and just buy one, right? Think about it. So why not go there? Why not go there and actually sit there and visualize what would it be? What would it feel like if you could do that? You might go to Harry Rosen downtown if you're a man, or to a Chanel place if you're a woman, or Leone, right, which has a lot of higher end clothing. And it doesn't cost anything, guys, to do that. It doesn't cost anything to put on that outfit that you would be buying in the future, to feel what it feels like. What does that thread count feel like on your body? Walk around in it, feel the feeling. Go put on a really super expensive pair of shoes. They allow you to walk around in that store, just so you know, with those shoes on. How about that? They don't ask you for a credit card. They don't ask you for a down payment. You can actually do that today, right? So
The only
you
thing
want to
stopping
really start.
people, sorry to interrupt. The only thing stopping people, I see this a lot of times, is just their own self-worth. And you and me had this discussion. You even, you even helped me and gave me some advice on that, right? A lot of people wouldn't even do that, even though they're allowed to. They wouldn't even do that because already that's where the self-limiting beliefs happen. You're probably, be very careful, be very, very mindful of the thoughts going through your mind at that point. Darren just invited you to go out and do that. And what's going through your mind right now as he said that? Are you thinking, I'll do that one of these days? Is that one of the things going through your mind? Or number two, I really don't know, man. Like, I'll do it when I get the money. That's another self-limiting belief. Don't wait for those moments. Go do it right now. Or, I don't know, man. They'll look at my clothing and the people will know that I'm broke and that I can't afford it. I just feel kind of like a loser for going in there and just trying the stuff out, even though I'm not going to buy it. If you limit yourself with any one of these thoughts, if that went through your mind as Darren was talking about it, okay, those are the simple, small things that trip you up already. So be very mindful of that, and then just go do it. It's a nice sunny day when you're watching this video, whatever the case is, just go do it, because trust me, what Darren's talking about really works. That whole thing is going to change your beliefs and your energy level right away. And Darren, I just want to add one more thing there, about the check in the bank. Okay, so your version is amazing and it works. But I had another mentor who also taught me that method. But what he did was he put one little caveat onto that. He put one little bit of a difference on it. And that was he actually had a check handwritten out. Okay, you could see the money on it. You can see it's $10 million. You can see your name, everything. And he handed it to me. Okay. And then I was all excited. And he asked me the same question. What is it about? What's changed? Nothing. Nothing's changed. It's just the feeling, the knowing, the confidence, the thinking, my posture changed. I was like all excited. My body got all hot. I got goosebumps. All kinds of things happened. Physiology changed, right? So I was in a better state at that moment. My vibrations were up. And then the next thing he said was, take a look at the date. Then I looked at the date and I was like, shit, I can't cash this check until a year later. Then he asked me, now be very mindful of your thoughts and your feelings, Desmond. And what happened? Well, I was excited, but I was a little bit let down, right? Because I had to wait now. Now I got to wait another whole year. So he was like, did you see how your energy just went like that and then like that, right? And so he was like teaching me to be very mindful of my energy. And then what happened was I looked at it and I was like, yeah, but I'm still great. He's like, but then now do you still feel grateful? Do you now see your future, and do you now feel more secure in your future? That confidence, is it there? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, maintain that energy. If you can maintain that energy, that's what manifests and brings things into your life. For the next 1 year, you're going to get that check. It's going to be cashed, right? There's a knowingness. And so if you guys have that knowingness, that's what Darren has. That's what I have. That's why what he was talking about, when he wakes up in the morning, he has that knowingness. So now for Darren's level, it's $1,000. So for whatever you guys have, your level, start off with something that's believable. There's something called the MTO, the minimum, the target, and the outrageous. Okay. So maybe for you guys, $1,000 might be outrageous, but maybe something that's very believable might be, say, $10 or $50 or even $100, right? It's something that you can hit without fail. For Darren, that's $1,000. He knows he's going to hit $1,000 without fail. Now, for him, his target might be, say, $5,000 or $1,000 or $2,000 a day, and his outrageous would be like a $10,000 a day, right? So he challenges himself. So I encourage you guys also to set your goals in that sense, the MTO, minimum, target, and outrageous. And so when I wake up in the morning, don't make it too easy, okay? Don't be like, I'm going to have $1 day today. $1 day, you're not pushing yourself. But say maybe today I might push myself to $100. That's my minimum. I'm going to make $100 today, right? Then my target is going to be $500. And then my outrageous going to be $2,000, right? So either way I win, right? If I hit my outrageous, holy shit, I broke records. If I hit my target, it's $500. That's awesome. I'm feeling like on top of the world. And if I hit my minimum, well, that's $100. At least I still made money. So anyway, that's it. Back to you, Darren. What do you think about that? Did that make sense?
Absolutely. That's totally, you're bang on track. Now, guys, here's the other thing that I'll share with you that worked really well for me, because we're talking about, people that just first get started. And Desmond brought up some really good points there. Here's what I did, okay? This was the strategy that I used. So I had sort of this vision, right? And I didn't set my original vision at a number that was so ridiculous that my subconscious mind was going to go, yeah, right, like that'll ever happen. So what I did instead was I did this. I'm going to make $50 for 3 consecutive days in a row. Okay. Now I might have made, 50, and then 2 days I didn't make money, or 3 days I didn't make money, then 50, and then 5 days I didn't make money. But my goal was to make $50 for 3 consecutive days. Okay, now once I did that, I said, okay, cool. I'm going to make $100 for 3 consecutive days. Okay, now here's the cool thing that happens. As you start to hit one milestone, right, this is what you got to make sure that you do. Good job. Good job. And you have to have some sort of a celebration. Okay. Now, in the beginning, your celebration might just be a celebration dinner at home, right? If you don't have a lot of money, but put some candles out there, make it a really special time. You might go get a bottle of wine or a bottle of champagne or something and celebrate that little tiny milestone that you've been able to do. Okay. Now, once I went into $100, 3 consecutive days. Now, keep in mind, guys, it doesn't mean that on all the rest of the days that you're making no money at all. But once you get to that next milestone, $100 for 3 consecutive days, now I upped it. I upped it to 200, then 400, then 500, right? Then once I got to around 500, bang, 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 right? It was easy for me to now go, okay, I'm going to shoot for $1,000 for 3 days in a row. Okay, now, if you're making $1,000 for 3 days in a row, it doesn't mean, guys, that you're going to have a $30,000 month. You might have an $8,000 month, right? But once you're there, once it starts to become part of this, it becomes a lot easier to be able to do it consistently. And that's one of the keys. What do you think about that, Desmond?
Spot on, Darren. I could have said it better. I totally agree with you. But I even want to go back even a little bit further, because I get team members. We were sharing about our team members and how we can help them. Before we can even talk about sales, Now, this is very pertinent towards the online marketers, anyone who's doing some sort of biz op and stuff like that. It's about that pipeline of leads coming in, right? It's generating those leads. So before we can even talk about the numbers, because the numbers, like the results, the money, that's a byproduct of generating leads and building authority, and having people know, like, and trust you. So for me, what it was like, we were talking about, I was like, I want to help the brand new person. You can take the same thing that Darren talked about, but apply it to leads. So, Darren talked about $50, right? 3 times consecutively. Well, I start talking to my new mentees or my members and my students, and I say to them, how about aim on getting 1 lead per day consecutively for 3 days? And then once they do that, as soon as they do it, the faster you do it, you quickly send me a message, and then we're going to scale that up, and we take it to 2 leads a day, 3 leads, 4 leads, 5 leads, 6 leads. And when they're normally running around about 6, in what we do, 6 to 7 leads, 6 to 10 leads per day, boom, they pop that sale, right? And then they're doing 6 to 10 leads for the next 3 days again, and then boom, they pop that second sale, right? And so now they're getting like 1 sale every 3 or 4 days, right? And so then they're hitting the ranks like boss and stuff like that by the end of the month, right? And so that's that confidence builder. Now, boss and all these things, you can do the mathematics and you can figure out how much money is actually being made there. It's not really a lot. But what happens is that confidence builds, that belief starts to increase, that momentum, that energy starts to build up. And once they've got that, then yeah, like it's just magic, like how it just very quickly happens. Napoleon Hill talks about that in Think and Grow Rich as well. When you get your thinking right, okay, and the thinking is also, like it's a snowball effect with the confidence, right? It happens really, really fast. And then the only thing that will take you out of the game is if you have any instability in one of those 4 evils, like I talked about. If you got all this momentum going, and all of a sudden a health issue hits you, boom, you lose that momentum. You start from beginning, start from scratch all over again. Or you get some sort of time thing, something takes your time away. Boom, again, so you want to make sure you maintain these 4 things while building that confidence. Does that make sense, Darren? Is that in line with what you were saying as well?
100%, 100%. Guys, here's the really interesting thing is that here's what I find is that if you set your target on an actual number, okay, so here's what a lot of people say, okay, so I say, so Tom, I mean, tell me about your vision. I mean, what kind of an income do you want to make per month? I want to make as much as I can. Okay, that is a 0, guys, just so you know. You're literally asking the universe for nothing, okay? Well, I want to make enough to be able to travel and do this and do that. You're going to give me this whole list, right? And you haven't given me any number. That's still a 0 from the universe. You're not asking for anything, right? I want to travel. Okay, well, go across the street. You just traveled, right? I want to make a lot of money. Okay, here's a penny. Is that good? Right? So you got to be very clear on what is your intention. Why are you even starting the business in the first place? And you got to get connected to that emotion, that feeling, the feeling in your body of that future reality that you really, really want. That's the success vibration. Now, when it comes to this business model, a lot of people say, well, Darren, I don't really understand how to generate leads. How's that work? Here's what I found, guys, okay? Stop pitching your deal, okay? Stop focusing on your company. Start focusing on the problems that you're having. What are the problems that other people are having in the industry? They typically burn through their warm market real fast, right? Probably in a month to 6 weeks. They don't even know who to talk to anymore. So now what do? They're in a real bind. They got to learn how to generate leads. So you can actually create solutions to those people's problems on how to generate leads. Now you got leads. Well, what do you do with the leads, right? How to close people, how to upsell them to higher ticket items. How do you bring a team together? How do you motivate, inspire, and lift people up into leadership? And how do you have influence on people? How do you win friends and influence people? Which is a book that you should read by Dale Carnegie, right? So So Desmond, from your experience of being able to generate leads, right, qualified buyers, do you find that you get more results by just saying, have I got a deal for you? We're making all this money, we're expanding, we're looking for new people? Or do you get more response over focusing on people's pain, their problem, and providing that solution to them?
That's a really good point here, because Darren, I'm just gonna do a quick screen share with you guys. And I just want, because I'd rather, you know, walk the walk rather than talk the talk, right? So let me just show my entire screen here. You guys get to take a look. Tell me if you can see this, Darren. Can you see my chat going on here, my Facebook chat? So here's a chat with a lady named Marcella, okay? She wrote me this morning at about 7:16 a.m. this morning, and she goes, hi, I know you're a busy man. Can I ask you a question? Even if you're not my sponsor, I'm so confused on marketing. Do I market on why people need blogs and get them in that way? See, notice her terminology, get them in that way. Or do I market that we have a simple system that teaches how to market? Do I make sense? I know random questions from someone you've never talked to, LOL, right? So at 7:31, and Darren, you know my morning hustle with my kids and stuff like that, pretty busy as a single parent, but I took the time to reply to her, and I didn't just reply to her, you know, and write her off like a lot of marketers do in this industry. If they don't know this person and they don't have a commission from this person, they're not going to take the time to reply to them. Now, I'm not bragging about myself, but I'm just showing you guys by example things that leaders would do, okay? In my personal humble opinion, what a leader should do. And I'm going to lead by example. So I said this to her. I said, I would say both. Now, what went through my mind as I read her thing there initially was, okay, so this is a brand new person. I have no idea who she is, who's her upline, whatever it is. But do I market on why people need blogs and get them in that way? Her whole intention's already wrong. She's trying to get people in. And like Darren said, promoting a company or a product and stuff like that, okay? That's not the method we want to do here. I'm a very big believer on attraction marketing. And if you don't understand what attraction marketing is, get in touch with Darren, or you can look up my YouTube channel, and I've got some videos on attraction marketing. I talk about it all the time, right? But if you're plugged in with Darren, he knows a lot about attraction marketing. So this is my reply to her, okay? I would say both, okay? I would say get with your sponsor, and if not them, then your sponsor's sponsor. I would also say look at the leaderboards and the leadership council tab and see the names there and look for their blogs and see what they blog about. If someone asks you, what is Empower Network? Okay, that's the company we're affiliated with. Okay, so, you know, what is Empower Network? How would you explain it quickly? Give me a short answer, right? It's just like if you owned a coffee shop, and if someone asked you, what kind of business do you have? You would be able to answer that very quickly. Now, I use coffee shop because I owned a couple of restaurants myself. Someone said, hey, Desmond, what kind of business do you do? I'm a business owner. Well, I own a couple of restaurants. I own a French bistro. You know, I can spout that off really fast. A lot of new people coming into this industry don't know how to explain what they're in. Okay, so I'm not going to answer that for you guys. But personally, when I explain to people what I do, I say, look, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I brand myself. I don't just talk about any company I'm affiliated with. I normally brand myself. I'm Desmond Soon. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a mentor, a coach, right? And I help other like-minded individuals, aspiring entrepreneurs to succeed. Now, at the same time, too, I was educated through the Empower Network system, and that is a company that I'm affiliated with. And I like their system because it has really good educational products, and it's got very good courses in there that teach people how to succeed like how I have. So if you're a new aspiring entrepreneur and you're looking to succeed, right, I highly recommend their system, okay? That's how I would explain Empower Network. It's like a university, right? I'm not trying to pitch any products. I'm not trying to promote any kind of skin cream or diet or anything like that. It's a miracle cure from the Amazon, nothing. I'm just talking about my success, okay? And who I am and what I am. Now, next, it's just like if you own, okay, so I did that part. Okay, so also, what is your unique story? Are you promoting a company and its products just as an affiliate to make money off recruiting people and hoping to get a commission? See, this right here, this is why a lot of people fail, because it's selfish intentions. They're doing it because they want to get rich. They don't give a crap about anyone else. They're just trying to recruit people in. They're just trying to sell and push products on the people. Why? So that they can get rich. The moment you take your eyes off yourself and you start caring about other people, you start solving other people's problems, that's when the money starts to flow to you. That's why a lot of leaders, if you've been around the industry for a while, you will hear people say it's not about the money, right? It's about the people. And a lot of times I used to be the guy sitting in the audience with my arms crossed going like, yeah, right, buddy. You freaking wanted the money. Dude, don't give me that bullshit. You drive a nice car. You drive a Mercedes, right? It's all about the money. No, no, no. You see, initially, when I even got in, it was about the money. I was selfish. I was bankrupt, broke, and I needed to take care of my kids. It was survival money. I needed that. Obviously, everyone needs that. You can be selfish. You're allowed to be selfish for that. But the faster, and this is what I was talking to Darren about in the phone call before, is within my first year, I took care of that. I took care of that business quickly. I took care of quickly getting myself to a self-sustainable level. Okay, I put in the time, I put in the part-time, and we will go into that a little bit later, what part-time really means. Okay, I put in the effort to create enough momentum, to create enough inertia, right, to generate enough income so that I took care of my initial needs, my personal needs, right? Then I wasn't like, desperate and can't pay my phone bill and shit like that. I could actually take the bus to work, right? Did you notice I said I take the bus to work? I didn't have a nice car or put gas in the car. I had to still take the bus. I didn't buy any clothing for myself. I just had enough to survive. Once I got that taken care of, I could start caring about people, caring about my team members, and that's what propelled me forward. Now, let me just quickly finish up the last part here, and I want to pass it back to Darren. But okay, so, or do you do it for a bigger purpose, to help other people by inspiring them by your story? Okay, so I ask this to every single new person that joins my team, and I know Darren does the same thing as well. But seriously, guys, if you want to be successful, it's about leadership. It's about inspiring and helping other people. When you serve the masses, you will live with the classes. Let me say that again. When you serve the masses, you will live with the classes. When you serve the classes, you'll live with the masses. Okay, so I used to work as a valet. I worked with all these high-class rich people, right? I served the classes. When you work as a flight attendant in first class, you serve the first-class people, you will live with the masses. But if you're Steve Jobs, if you're a Bill Gates, if you're a Mark Zuckerberg, and you serve the masses, you will live with the classes. So now you're going like, oh, I'm not a Mark Zuckerberg, I'm not a Steve Jobs, but everybody's got a unique story. And by your story, you already have a gift. Your life is unique and your story is unique. Start with that. Start with your story. Start to find the silver lining in your story, in your life, in yours, turning your setbacks into comebacks. That's why I use that as a slogan, because everyone has had a setback in their life at some point in their life, right? Take that and look for the silver lining in it. Use that story to inspire other people. And in doing that, like Darren said, solving other people's problems, going through the products that we have in the Empower Network courses, right? Like Top Producer Formula, which teaches you all about how to learn how to sell, okay? And selling is not a bad word. Then after that, learning how to build teams, like what I'm talking about here, inspiring other people, building teams, that's the leverage system there, okay? And then last but not least, the mass influence, right? That's the how to influence and influence people. That's when you really become a leader in the world, right? So by doing that, that's the progression of, of wealth and prosperity, okay? So now, let me just continue here. Or about things you're passionate about, right? So I'm passionate about being a single parent and so forth. Then, and I'm a pilot as well. And I'm about helping people get out of commuting, because I'm passionate about not commuting, right? I hate commuting. So, if you hate commuting, then, well, you and me can swap stories, right? Then once you have found an audience, once you have an audience and you're seen as an authority, here's the key word here. A lot of people joining Empower Network or any kind of online thing or any kind of like biz op, they don't know how to position themselves as an authority. You have to position yourself as an authority. But Desmond, I'm like a total introvert. I'm petrified of videos. There are ways, guys. Trust me, there are ways. I know multimillionaires who are absolutely terrified. Mike Hobbs, who was just on the Empower Hour call, is an absolute introvert. And yet the guy, has his strongest point is probably video making. So he found a way out of no way. It really comes down to how badly do you want this? Let me finish off the end here. Then when you let them know when you let them know you are able to do what you do because of you use a system and you learn things from it, which is like what I just did here. I just explained to you how I segue. Okay, that's why you recommend they check it out, and they want to have the freedoms to be able to get their message and story out there too as well. Okay, so you see the method I'm explaining here is called attraction marketing. How would you attract people to you? Rather than the sales mentality, which is what most MLMs teach, go out there, find people, persuade them, get them to your business plan, get them to your meetings so that you can make money. That is the hunter-gatherer method. And that system, sadly, puts people off, and most people don't like to do it, okay? It may still work for some hustlers and some gangster guys out there, but it doesn't work for everyone, and that's what turns people off. So you want to use this, the attraction marketing methodology, which is proven to work better. It's not such a put-off to people, but to do this, you need to get your mindset right, your personal development right, your confidence right, get rid of self-limiting beliefs, right? Start to build up that confidence. Listen to Darren, get some coaching from him on that, all right? That is gonna increase your vibrations, and that's gonna help you with attraction marketing. It's gonna increase your leadership skills. Okay, it takes time to learn attraction marketing method, and you have to develop skills of solving people's problems so that they know, like, and trust you. You have to build up a reputation and brand, building up rapport. Ask yourself, when you blog, who would it be helping, or who would I be helping with my blog? If those people find your blog or your video, okay, whatever your content you put out there, would they feel grateful for the info you provide them? That's key right there, right? Ask yourself, are you just writing a blog, or are you just putting out content, you know, to sound good so that you can look at yourself talking and you sound good? Or do you think people are gonna feel grateful? As I speak to you right now, I'm already envisioning the people that are watching this video, whether it's live or in the recording, that you are going to feel grateful for this information I'm sharing with you, that you are going to enjoy what Darren and me are sharing with you right now. It's because we put that energy into things. That's why we attract people to us. That's why people see us as an authority. That's why people join us. If you guys can crack that code, you will attract people to you. The leads will come in. Trust me. It's like that movie with Kevin Costner in it, right? If you build it, they will come, right? I think that's the term. I can't remember exactly, but yeah. Okay, so wrapping up here, okay? As I end, you know, so while also connecting it to your story and how using Kalatu and Empower Training has improved your life, and thus if they want to, some people will say, well, Desmond, I just got started. I have no commissions. I don't have any proof. Wrong. Your life has already improved. The fact that you're part of the community, once again, look for the silver lining. It's something our society does not train us to do. We're not coached on how to do that. Let me just turn off screen sharing here. We're not coached on how to do that. We're not shown the public education system, you know, that teaches you that you have to be perfect in everything. You don't have to be perfect in everything. You know, we always hear about 9 out of 10 businesses fail, right? Well, what does the average person think when they hear that? 9 out of 10 businesses fail. Risky. Don't do it. Because if you don't get it right the first time, you're a failure. Wrong, right? 9 out of 10 businesses fail tells me I got to start 10 businesses, fail at 9 of them, and that one is going to succeed, and that's all it takes. So guys, I want to share that part with you. There's one last other exciting thing I want to share with you guys later on, but I'll let Darren talk here because I need to take a break and have a drink here. Did you guys like that? If you did, post a comment below. Tell us. Give Darren some feedback. Go to his Facebook timeline. Say, Darren, oh my God, that's an awesome hangout. Desmond, thank you so much. We appreciate you. And then if you want more information, plug in. We'll help you out over a period of, say, 2 years, less than university, right? Darren said university, you work hard, you study hard in university, you never make a single cent, spend more money than you ever make, and then you get out hoping to make money. What we do is instantaneous. Learn, do, teach. Learn, do, teach. Learn, do, teach. And boom, you start making money. 2 years, guys. I'm at 2 years. See income disclaimers and all that kind of stuff, right? All the results are not typical. We're not typical. But I don't think you're typical either if you're watching this video. Darren, back to you, man.
Absolutely. Guys, you know what? Here's what I want to share with you. Now, Desmond has a strategy that works well for him, right? He's a 6-figure incomer, so it's obviously working well, okay? I'm going to share with you that there are tons of different ways. Right now I'm in Port Moody, and there are tons of different ways that I can go from here to downtown Vancouver, right? I might go out Barnett and take Lougheed Highway. I might go through Coquitlam and take the freeway. I might go along, you know, through Port Moody this other way and take another route, right? There's all sorts of different ways. I might go all the way through all of these, you know, little communities first and go on the scenic tour all the way around and then take the freeway, right? So there's all sorts of different ways. Now, what I'm going to share with you guys is that the strategy that I'm going to share with you right now has helped me recruit over 1,000 people personally, okay, without going and spending any money on traffic, without spending any money on paid ads. Okay, now here's how this works. See, I believe that you can't really fully help a person, anybody, unless you know where they're at, what's going on in their life right now, and what's their vision. Where do they want to go? Okay, so there's these two different realities. Where are they at and where do they want to go? What do they do right now? What's their pain? What's their problem? And what's their passion? What do they really want? What's their driving force? Okay, so if money was no object, what would they be doing with their time? Good question, right? So what I do is I become very good at being the detective, right? Because I can't make any recommendation for you unless I understand more about you. Okay, and this is what I learned from my mentor in my early 20s. He said, Darren, I don't want you talking about your company, and I don't want you talking about the products. Okay, now at the time, guys, when he told me that, I came from the world of features and benefits. That's where most people come from. Have I got a deal for you? I look better. I feel better. I'm telling you, I'm sleeping better. You gotta try these products, right? That's not our business model. And if you do that, it will be very, very painful. Okay, very painful. Okay. So here's the difference. Okay. Now, and this is something that I would actually recommend to Desmond. Okay, if Desmond wants to now go up to multiple 6 figures and 7 figures, okay, here's what I would have done, okay, in that same situation, okay. Let's say that it was Sally, okay. Now I use this all the time, guys, okay. I would have said this, hey, Sally, how's it going? How's your day so far, Darren? Then I would have waited for a response, okay? She probably would have said, pretty good, Darren, how about yourself? That's what most people say. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share some cool things about my life, cool things about a place I just went to. And I'm gonna share a couple of pictures because I wanna open up the gateway so that we're connected, right? Now my goal, my number one goal is to change.
You're breaking up a bit, Darren.
Sorry? Am I good?
Yeah, you better. You're back. Okay, good. Keep going.
So my goal is to change her state and get her to laugh. Okay, change her state and get her to laugh. I want to get an LOL. I might joke about the weather. I might joke about where she's from in the weather. I might joke about, you know, something to do with something that I just heard about, local or Facebook, whatever. Okay, I want to get an LOL. Okay, now what I want to say is this. Sally, tell me more about you. What's going on in your life? Okay, that's this world. What is going on in your life, right? Now, what are some of the things that I want to find out about as the detective? Does she work full-time or part-time? What does she do, right? Is she married? Does she have children? What's happening in that world? And then I want to find out what's her vision. What is she really trying to achieve, okay? What is her goal, right? Because a lot of people get into a business, they only might want to make $500 a month. I might be talking about a millionaire formula when they're really only interested in $500 a month. And I don't know until I ask and I listen. I gotta listen. Everybody's gonna have a different vision. Everybody's gonna have a different goal. Everybody's gonna have a different objective as to why they're starting their business. Now, until I know that data, I can't make any recommendations. You see the difference? So, but here's the thing. I can say this because Desmond is a mentor, okay? And Desmond should be getting paid for his expertise on a 1-hour mentoring session or a 1-month mentoring program, whatever it is, okay? And when you're a mentor, people can be in any company, guys. You can be a mentor for. Doesn't matter what company they're in. They could be in somebody else's downline. You can still mentor that person and give them your expertise. The difference is that you get paid for it, right? And your time is compensated for. Now, in the event that you have value, okay, not just this type of value, but I'm talking about you've taken problems, you've turned them into PowerPoint presentation with the solution to the problems. Now you got bigger value, bigger value, bigger value, and now you can have the one-on-one. The person goes through, you really find out their objectives, you can share your screen, and then you're leaving them with more value and you're giving them homework assignments. It might be a book to read, could be an audio to listen to, but the time that gets taken out of your day is actually compensated for, right? So I'm just throwing that out to you, pal, because I obviously want to see you go up to the next level too. And you know, we have big hearts, and a lot of times what happens is we just, you know, put our time out there, and it takes away time from us actually making money. And you know, the thing that you've got to understand as well is that once people realize that's the type of person you are, you will actually attract all these people that will take up ridiculous amounts of your time, and you will never ever get compensated, right? So just throwing that up. Just throwing that up.
And I give you that permission, right, Darren? I mean, that's why we're running mates. That's why we have that synergistic, symbiotic relationship, right? Because you and me gel that way, you know, and you can. I give you that permission to pick out things that you see me, and I also do the same with my mentors. So, guys, by the way, on the topic of mentorship, there's some really good videos out there on how to find a mentor. I highly encourage you. You know, I'm not self-promoting myself here, but if you do type that into YouTube, one of my videos, one of my poorly made videos, believe it or not, one of my humble beginner videos is actually ranking on the first page of YouTube for the topic of how to find a mentor. Now, I say that very humbly because if you look at all the other videos that are on the first page, you'll get people like Ty Lopez, Steve Harvey, right, Matt Morris, Tracy Walker, right, and a few others that are really, really, you know, well-known speakers, Grant Cardone, Dan Locke, right? So, you know, what I did was I made my video, and if you guys watch that video, there is in the description below, okay, you know, pay attention to my video and everything, but the key is really to go into the description below and click on the links there, because I actually have hyperlinks to these other leaders' videos. Go watch their videos and listen to what they say also about mentorship, because if you guys are watching this video, right, whether you be in Darren's team, my team, or just someone else's team, or nobody's team even, you know, it's really important to find mentors and surround yourself so that you can have discussions like this. You want to surround yourself with people who don't just make you feel comfortable, but challenge you to, you know, to step up your game. And what Darren was doing is, you know, good, honest advice, sage advice. And I've actually heard this before. It's something that I've been struggling with because, like Darren said, I'm a giver, right? I give, but then I also feel exhausted and drained because I want success for my people more than they sometimes want it. And we talked about how, you can bring a whole force to the drink. So what I'm actually doing is actually a self-fulfilling prophecy, is that I'm actually giving so much. My intention is right, but I'm overdoing it. I'm actually giving people fish rather than teaching them to fish. And then what I'm doing is also I'm attracting more of those kind of people in my life. And so it's a downward spiral. My time's getting sucked up. So I'm getting, it's actually making me sometimes negative. It's making me sometimes feel resentful. I'm losing my passion, you know, because what started off as something I really love to do now has a negative side effect. So what Darren was giving me was advice on how to, you know, just make a few small tweaks and changes. And what can actually happen is that that passion, that excitement comes back again, simply because I'm able to help people. My intention is being, you know, satisfied, but at the same time too, I'm not overly, you know, giving so much of my time, but I'm seeing people succeed and giving them room to grow as well. So I really do appreciate that, Darren. That was really sage advice. And it's something David Wood also talked about with me when we were in Miami and we had that private one-on-one time. I was talking with him. That's a challenge that I've had. Is like, I'm like, look, dude, you know, I've been building my team. I've been working hard for them. And you guys, all of you watching this live stream as well, as you build teams, you're gonna run into different stages, right? Different levels. You'll reach this level. Some of you might just naturally get right by it, but some of you guys will run into the stage where you built a solid team, and you just find that you are like the engine of that entire team. You seem to be pulling everyone along the way, and if you stop, the whole team crumbles, right? That happens a lot in the industry. So I'm getting over that. That's why I go through the team building formula. I listen to people like Darren. I listen to people like Tracy, people like Dan Locke, people who have built teams, right? And I take their advice on that. So yeah, thanks, Darren. I appreciate it, man.
Well, one of the things, Desmond, that I think will really work well for you on that, and this, if anybody that's watching this, that if you want to really get that kick up in your business momentum, get people obviously plugged into what the company's doing. But here's what I do. On Saturdays, I give people an opportunity as a group, okay, not individually, as a group, okay, if they're qualified as six-figure builders, okay, up until April 1st, and then they've got to be qualified as an all-in member in order to get exchange, right? They can talk, they can ask me questions, but they're in a group environment, okay? So what's happening is that I'm sharing with everybody at the same time. So instead of me taking 2 hours of my day with one person, I take 3 hours of my day. It might be with 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 different people all at once, all at the same time. Now, let's think about how much time that would actually save you. If you had 20 people and you're making a 2-hour phone call, you just save yourself a 40-hour work week just by doing that one little tweak, right? So yeah. Talk to people in the mass as a group. Now, in the event that they specifically want additional mentoring from you, right? They actually pay for that. They want one-on-one direct personal time, they would actually pay for that, whatever your mentoring price is, okay? But I want to get back into this topic, Desmond, about breaking inertia, because we're talking about the part-timer, you know, the person, you started off part-time, you were working a full-time job. I want for you to talk about your actual income-producing activities. What did you do in that first year where you were working a full-time job? You got a couple of kids, right? You know, you got to take care of your single dad. So you didn't have a lot of time. What did you do in order to do income-producing activities to be able to get that lift off in your business?
All right. So to pre-frame it, right, I want everyone to visualize this, because I think sometimes we just throw it out there, but not everyone really relates to it. So I want everyone to visualize this. You wake up at 5:30 in the morning. Okay, 5:30 in the morning, I would wake up. Obviously before I went to sleep the night before. Okay, let's just even start with the night before. Before I went to sleep at night, what I did was I basically made sure I wasn't watching TV. If I did, and I do watch TV with my kids, by the way. Okay, a lot of people sometimes they say, make it sound like, you know, to be a successful entrepreneur you don't watch TV. I do watch TV with my kids before they go to bed. That's one of my rewards, actually, believe it or not, that Darren talked about, that pat in the back, is to be able to spend time with my kids. So I will watch like a Disney movie with them, a Discovery documentary. There's a lot of stuff on Netflix that's documentary related, and we'll watch that kind of stuff before going to bed. They'll pass out on the sofa. So I do that with them. And then what I do is I listen to an inner circle audio or some sort of personal development audio as I fall asleep. Now, it's very easy for me to fall asleep because I'm exhausted. Okay, let me just tell you that first. I'm extremely exhausted, so it's very easy for me to fall asleep. But I've got these things in my head. I've got headphones all around my house, and so I listen. I've got it in my ear. I probably only get to the first 5 minutes of the audio before I fall asleep, and then the rest of it's subliminal. I wake up at 5:30. I take a shower. In the process of the shower, I go through sort of like, it's my own personal meditation process. But I'm a Scorpio, so I like water, and the water, taking a shower is very nice. Hot shower in the morning. I'm closing my eyes. I do a little bit of an Om, thing. If you know about Om, I do that. And then what I'm doing is I'm actually, it's what I program into my mind before I go to sleep. So I can talk about all the mechanics, like, income producing activities, but these are the secret things that nobody hears about. Okay, so I'm sharing the secrets. This is the first time I've ever done it. I don't think I've ever revealed the entire process, but I'm going to reveal it all right now if you give me the time to do it. But basically, that's what it is. Before I go to sleep, there's a book, a very good book you should all get. Okay, it's called "Grow Rich While You Sleep" by Ben Sweetland. "Grow Rich While You Sleep" by Ben Sweetland. It's a blue color book. The original cover is blue in color with white words and stuff like that. Now, how did I know that? Because I've read that book so many times. One of the things in that book, one of the strategies in that book that you learn, one of the secrets, is that you can program your mind to think of certain things and come up with solutions before you even go to sleep. Because your subconscious mind never goes to sleep. Your heart is controlled by your subconscious mind. Your digestive system, your liver, everything's controlled by your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is like the night watch manager. It's the COO of your company. So as I go to sleep, because I know in the morning I want to record a video. So why did I tell you that whole story is because my goal is to record a video before I go to work. Why? Because that's my income producing activity. I want to produce a video, but I got writer's block. I've got video block. I don't know what to make a video of. So before I go to sleep, I'm listening to that inner circle audio and I'm telling my subconscious mind, I'm telling my night watch manager, hey, this is the president. I'm about to go home here. And your task, your homework for the evening is I want you to come up with a value-driven topic that I can talk about on the fly in one take tomorrow morning. And I want to have it on my desk when I come back in the morning at 5:30 in the morning. And this is at like normally 1 o'clock in the morning, okay? You know, I go to sleep at that time and boom, I'm up by 5:30. I'm alert, I'm awake. Why? Because I told my manager to let my body rest, get me healed up, even though it's only 4 hours. I don't go to sleep going, oh God, shit, I gotta be up in 4 hours. I never ever do that. I go to sleep going, yes, I got 4 hours of sleep. You know, like, oh, I'm so grateful I've got 4 hours to sleep. At least I got 4 hours instead of 3. You know, 4 hours is just going to be enough for my body to rest so that when I wake up, I'm going to be alive, I'm going to be awake, I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to be energetic, I'm going to inspire people. Good night. And then I go to sleep. Boom, and I got the audios playing and I fall asleep. That's how I go to sleep almost most nights. See, secret stuff that nobody ever teaches you guys, right? This is the go-getter shit that I do that most people are not doing. So I do that. Then I go to sleep and when I wake up, I take my shower. Like magic, thoughts come into my head. All of a sudden, I remember that Grant Cardone audio I listened to. All of a sudden, I remember the stuff from How to Win Friends and Influence People. All of a sudden, I've got books all over my table here, books everywhere. I just have to flip open one chapter. I'm like, all right, that's a great topic I can talk about. So I'm never in lack of topics to talk about. That's what I did in my first year, okay? So this is back in 2014 when I was deeply in debt, single parent, my wife, you know, going through a lot of emotional turmoil because my kids over here have negative, you know, parents that are supportive, loving, and everything, but also very verbally abusive, you know, and kind of putting me down for the mistakes I'd made. So I'm dealing with all that shit, having to take a commuter bus in the wintertime in Vancouver in the rain, extremely low level when I came from a high class living lifestyle in Tokyo in condominiums and my own nice fancy cars, having to submit my pride, going through all that stuff, go work, you know, a minimum paying wage job, okay, in sales and retail. I worked in Sony, right? And I appreciate Sony. They're a great company to work with and gave me the time to relearn my sales skills and different things like that. But I did all that. So I'd wake up at 5:30, get my shower, do all that stuff, come into my room, grab my phone, put it on a tripod, or even just hold it in my hand and shoot a 3-minute video. Every day I did that. That's why my videos all over YouTube. I'd shoot that 3-minute video and I would share a tip. And it was called the 2-minute tip today videos, right? Hashtag 2-minute tip today, or just look up 2-minute tips today, something like that, you'll find it, right? I'd shoot those videos and I'd look like I'd be all dressed up. Actually, I was just in underwear and just put on the suit top, right? As soon as that video was done, I would jump out of that suit, throw on my work uniform, ugly work uniform, get out the door, walk half an hour to the nearest bus stop, half an hour walk, okay, to the bus stop, get on the bus there. It's an hour bus ride. In the bus, I would edit the video using an app on my phone called Viva Videos, or I just used any app. I'd start modifying the video. By the time I would get to the mall, Richmond Center, Pacific Center, Metro Town, whatever it was, I would then use the Wi-Fi there to upload the video. I would upload the video to YouTube. I'd upload the video to Facebook. And I would, obviously, once it's on YouTube, later on, I could get home and get on my blog and upload into my blog, right? So that was the first thing I would do. I would generate activity. I'd be visible externally as well as internally. What is external and internal? Well, within our community, I was very visible internally. I was on the Empower Hour. I was on the webcast. I was in the chat. People saw who I was, right? I wasn't just a social butterfly. I was there regularly. People saw me. And eventually, after 2 years of doing that consistently, people started to see who I was. And of course, when I got results, the combination of results and being visible made me into a leader, right? It positioned me internally within the internal community as a leader. What did that do for my business? It propelled me. It gave me extra, spotlight. certain people within the leadership of Empower were paying attention to me. Thus, they invited me on calls. On a hangout. Now, I hope that I gave value in his thing there, but what Darren actually did for me was he marketed me. He gave me a lot of PR. Till today, I've had people call, hey, Desmond, I first saw you on one of Darren Little's interviews, his hangouts, and I was actually impressed by your story, and therefore I'm contacting you. You want to know the secret sauce? That in the movie Gladiator, there's a famous line that Proximo says to Maximus. And he says to him, I don't know if you guys know the movie very well, but it's one of my favorite movies. And he says, win the crowd, win your freedom. Win the crowd, win your freedom. So that's what I did. I won the crowd internally first. Now, how did I win them? Well, I use stuff in Mass Influence Formula, which we have as a course within Empower Network. And I also use stuff from How to Influence and Influence People. One of my absolute favorite books. Oh, it's on my floor in my room, next to my bed. See, go figure, right? Next to my bed, right? It's not here. And I used the skills in there to win the internal things. Now, what did that do? Internal people started checking out my blogs. What did I do for my blogs? It pushed my rank of my blogs up on SEO, right? Because I'm getting people now come out, know that these are fellow Empower people. It just sees hits, unique views coming to my blog. People posting comments. Hey, Desmond, saw you on the webcast. Really appreciate you. Hey, Desmond, you know, such an inspiring story, right? That elevated me faster than the average person. Now, I did not do that selfishly. I did not do that to, oh, hey, everyone, I'm narcissistic. Everyone look at me. Ha, 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 look how great I am. That just naturally happened. If you want to succeed, I'm giving you the secret sauce here right now. That's what I did, okay? So internally, I was visible. Now let's go back to more of the actual mechanical things, right? The income-producing activities. So I did that internally, and I also externally was visible. People started seeing me on Facebook, right? I was very active on social media. I was very humble. I did not pitch or promote anything, right? Like Darren says, I didn't promote any company or anything. People just watched me, right? And I positioned myself as an authority. I started showing people about, that's how my slogan, Max slogan, many ways to skin a cat. That was my way. And so I started doing that bit by bit. People started seeing me being more successful there. Every day I'm putting out a video. In my videos, they're not pitchy, they're not salesy. What I always do in my videos is I say, hey guys, if you like more information. So I got them subscribing. That's how my subscriber base on YouTube started blowing up. And then I say, hey, check out my blog, right? If you want more stuff like this, check out my blog. So then I drove them to my blog. Now my blog has banners. Those banners have links on it. When people read my blogs, I learned how to segue my blogs. So, I would talk about something, solve a problem, and then at the end, hey, by the way, I'm not sure if you actually know my full story. If you'd like to, you can watch this video here. There's an interview that was done by Darren and myself. So I'd send people there to watch it. Or I'd say, there's another blog, and here's my story, and how I've used this system to give me the freedoms. Now, this is back in 2014, before I had the full freedoms, but I already saw it as freedoms, right? I saw it as a freedom to blog. Now, fast forward, I go through sneaking around I've got my phone with me, I'm using Wi-Fi, right? I did whatever it took. I ran into the bathroom, hide in the bathroom for 10 minutes to get on an Empower Hour call because my shift was not over yet. Now an Empower Hour call had started, right? I'd catch 10 minutes, I'd go back out onto the floor, I'd come back, if it was the webcast, I'd type in the chat, right? So people think I'm actually on the chat, but I'm not. I'm kind of there for 10 minutes, not for half an hour. Back for 10 minutes, Dave would still talking, off, and back into the floor, do some sales, come back in the chat. Oh, the hangout's over, right? But visibly, internally, people thought I was there for the entire, right? But I was actually working my shift. I didn't make excuses. I didn't say, oh, I can't get on the hangout because I've got to work tonight. No, I went to the bathroom. I went to the storeroom. I told people I'm going to go to the storeroom and move this 80-inch TV there, right, which is going to take me half an hour, guys. So I go there and I'd be on the webcast storeroom, right? That's the stuff I did. That's the income activities that I did. Now, what are the income producing activities that I do? Producing content is very important, whether it's those blogs, whether you're on, it's out there. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. And the income producing activity I think I did the most, Darren, was I positioned myself as an authority. It's as simple as that. I posted ads. Yes, I did Craigslist ads. It does work. Very bottom of the barrel, but it does work. Okay, it does work if you know how to do it without being spammy, without being salesy. It does work. The strategies out there. can go into and stuff, not on this call, but that works. Instagram stuff does work, though I'm not a specialist at it. There are people I know who are good at it, right? There's a lot. Facebook, you can do stuff on Facebook. Facebook Hustle. Lawrence Tam talks about it in his 8FM group and stuff. They do stuff there, right? And ultimately, let's go back to the core. Dave would always talk about it. Blogging is probably the best. Ultimately, I'm getting sales now, 2 years later, from blogs I wrote a year ago. If you write a blog, though, guys, I want to caution you on this. If you're new, don't expect blogs to convert for you right away, okay? Blogging is a long-term strategy. But if you don't start now, you'll never get paid later. And I'm only talking 2 years here, guys. I'm not talking about like 10 years or a 40-year job, okay, career till 65. I'm talking about if you blog today, right now, today, if you wrote a topic today about, say, a cure for cancer, or maybe you wrote something, whatever your topic is, right? You solve some people's problems. 5 tips on how to be a single dad. I don't know, whatever. That has equity in it, and it builds over time, and it's on the internet. People will find that. People will find you. People will research you. You can't believe how many times I get emails from people these days now of people saying, hey, Desmond, I found your video on YouTube. Hey, Desmond, I watched, I don't know how it is, but I found a video of you on YouTube. And I just think, and now keep in mind, even back then in 2014, right? Like Darren says, I had a vision of the future. So I already back then was just genuine, right? I wasn't pitchy to people. So people saw those videos. And recently in 2015, 16, I didn't really make that many videos, believe it or not. Not as many as I did back in 2014, but they actually contacted me and said, I really liked your videos. You seem really genuine. You seem like you really care about people. And that's why I'm contacting you. I'd like to be on your team. That's how I've been doing. That's my income producing activity. It was a 2-year strategy. I didn't do it expecting to get a sign up tomorrow. I did it then. I planted the seeds. My corn grew, my bamboo grew, and in 90 days, it suddenly shot up 60 centimeters, whatever, 60 meters, whatever the bamboo thing is, right? But it took forever, right? At first, what seemed like forever? 2 years, not forever. It's like 4-year degrees, freaking forever, man. Yeah. Anyway, so again, let's go back to the income producing activities. So I get home. It'd be 7 p.m. in the evening, 7:30, almost 8 o'clock. Feed the kids, right? Get yelled at by my own mom, right? Because I'm 38 years old at the time, 37 years old, 36, whatever, living in my parents' basement. She's babysitting my kids. Take an earful about me being this useless parent, even though I'm trying to work my ass off. I'm working a job, come home, not spend time with my kids, get them into the shower, get them on the sofa, put on a Disney movie, and get back to my computer. I was so eager to get my computer. Check how many leads I got in my Aweber. Check my blog. Start taking that video from the morning, put it into my blog, write the blog, right? I do all these activities, and do I see any instant results? No, nothing yet at that time. But it was all building up. It was all building up, snowballing. I would do those things. I post an ad. Yeah, and I post a Craigslist ad. I would get like 5 or 10 inquiries. People saying, hey, I'd like to know more information. So then I'd get back to them, or I'd send them a lead capture page. Many of them would reply, this is a fucking scam. This is bullshit. Water off a duck's back. Why? I was telling Darren this because I wanted this as bad as I wanted to breathe. Okay, for that whole year of 2014, I worked and I did this methodically. I did this consistently. And by the end of December of 2014, going into 2015, Sony decided to shut down its operations in North America. And that's when I basically lost my job. I wasn't making that much money in Empower Network. My money at that time was probably only around about $600 to about $1,000 of residual income at that point. So how did I get that? Well, it was very methodical and slow. I had lots of people join me and I had a lot of people quit. I made some of that money simply because I found customers. That was another thing that a lot of people in our community fail to look at. They think it's only affiliates, right? You got to get customers as well. Let me just quickly do a very quick screen share with you guys. I want to give you guys all the juice here. I don't want to hold anything back today, right? I'm going to share the screen here. Let's see if you guys, tell me if you can see this, Darren, my keynote. Can you see this keynote?
Yeah.
Right. So here's the magic sauce. This is stuff I do in my own personal team training, right? So this is going to get very specific. If you're not within the community, make sure you get back to the person that introduced this video to you and make sure you set up your account. Otherwise, this is not going to be relevant information to you. But a lot of people come into our community and they think the only way to make money is from the affiliates, signing people up, getting commissions from affiliates. But we do actually have a very, very strong and good WordPress website blog builder. Okay, that customers can use. Who are customers? Business owners, real estate agents, lawyers, doctors, dentists, right? Entrepreneurs. If you're going to networking groups like meetup.com and stuff, you will meet other entrepreneurs that are there that don't have the budget to spend on $3,000, $4,000 to have a professional website developer develop a customized website for them, They don't have the time for that. So Empower has Kalatu, and Kalatu is like the IKEA business model. Why is IKEA successful? Why? Answer that question. Pause the video, answer the question. Why is IKEA successful? Right? I'll answer the question for you now if you're back. Okay, and that is IKEA doesn't build custom designer dining tables, and sofas made of the most rare leather, supple leather and stuff like that. No, they don't. They don't. They build dining tables for about $200. And they build it in such a way that you can come into their showroom. It looks fancy and avant-garde enough. Okay, whatever your style is, if you're so aloof that you can't like IKEA stuff, then maybe this is not for you. But you know what? It solves the problem for the masses. A lot of people think IKEA is pretty decent and cool and trendy and young and hip. And so they go there, and for $200, you can buy a dining table that is not pre-built for you. You got to go down into the warehouse, dusty and all that, pull it off the shelf, the cardboard box, load it up on your vehicle, bring it home, open it up in your living room using the Allen key and their 3-page, 4-page manual, just like building Lego, put it together within about half an hour. You've got yourself a dining table that's only cost $200. Well, that is what Kalatu is. It works, it's functioning, it's got aged domains in it that help it to naturally SEO, so it ranks on Google very quickly, right? Google, Bing, Yahoo. So if you're a realtor agent and you set up the blog with us, the web page with us, and you start putting stuff on it in a very short period of time, if you follow what we train you to do in the tutorial videos, you could be on the first page of Google. Let me show you another thing here. You guys watching Google right now? Tell me if you can see my Google. Okay, so I'm going to go to google.com. Okay, and in google.com, I'm going to go to Walnut Grove. I use this as an actual example, Walnut Grove Realtor. Right, so realtor, right? Okay, so why did I choose Walnut Grove? Walnut Grove is out near Langley, Abbotsford. It's on the #1 highway. It's a small little community, but I chose it because, say I'm moving out there and I'm looking for a realtor and I don't want to deal with Century 21 or any of the big names. I'd rather deal with someone more local. Well, look what shows up here. Pamela, this Ralph Jansen, right? Michelle Carlson, right? These guys are smart. They've got web pages, and they're private realtors that rank on the first page. They've got keyword searches, and so they're here. So what I would do is I would go to, say, page 5. And I'm gonna go find this guy named Jim Eddy. Okay, I know who he is anyway. So Jim Eddy. And I'm gonna go look at his ugly webpage that he got, probably made about 10 years ago, that's doing nothing. Okay, he probably goes like, man, I've got this web page and it has done nothing for me. I paid like $2,000 back then or $5,000 back then. Some guy designed this ugly looking ancient freaking web page for me, and I don't even know if I'm getting customers from this. This old fogey here, this guy here, he's been around the block for a while. He makes his money. He's not into making big money now. He makes his money from referrals. Okay, that's old school offline way of making money and getting leads. And so he doesn't really care. But I talked to Jim and I said, hey, Jim, what if I could help you? Now, you don't have to change this website. You can keep this website the way it is. But we're going to go set up for $97 a Kalatu website, a Kalatu WordPress blog website. And you're going to put some information on there. And what it's going to do is it's going to rank on the first page of Google, okay, here, above Ralph Jansen's page. I'm going to help you to do that within, say, a period of about a month, okay? Faster than if you paid an SEO company, which will tell you about a year to get on the first page of Google. I'm going to show you how to do it within about a month. Would that benefit you, Ralph? I mean, Jim. Obviously, what is Jim going to say? Jim's going to say, yeah, right? Like, I'm like, can you see the benefits of you being up here? Your page, Jimmy, whatever it is, being up here above Ralph Jansen. Do you think you're going to start getting more inquiries about your services as a realtor in the Walnut Grove area? He says, yes. So then what I do is I set him up so that I got a customer, right? This is what I do. It's cash flow. It's cash flow. I need cash flow for my business, right? Until I can go through all the training in Empower Network and learn all the stuff and learn mass influence and learn team builder and learn top producer and learn how to build lead capture pages. I get first cash flow coming into my business. I get some customers. And why is that important? Because they're stable. They're stable. I've got like something like 20 customers that use Kalatu that have nothing to do with Empower Network, hate affiliate programs, hate MLMs, but they need a web page and they need to rank on the first page of Google. So they do that. Why? Because they will pay their bill every month because they need to have their business web page up, right? They enjoy that. I've got a dentist in Richmond, right, who's got a Kalatu web page that doesn't look anything like Empower, no banners, nothing. It's just her, but she talks about her dental stuff, and she's got keywords on it. that gets her found. And so because of that, and I got her receptionist to get this little form that says, you know, when a new person comes in, they fill up the form, they say, how did you find this? You know, was it a referral? Was it an ad in the newspaper? Was it a banner? Was it a something, you know, whatever? Or was it, you know, from the internet? And if it was from the internet, was it a random Google search? Okay. So, and believe it or not, when I helped her out about a year ago, she was getting no customers, or she had no idea if any customers were coming from the internet. After that change, okay, she was excited. Her daughter was the younger one who knew how to do it. She's a little bit older. She's in her 50s. So she's not very techie. But her younger daughter is like in her late 20s. I helped her out. And she did that. And within about, I think, 2 to 3 months, when I went back for my filling and stuff like that, she was excited. She was like, oh my God, Desmond, right? And I was like, what? And she's like, you know, you got us to do that process, and take a look at this. She showed me 10 sheets of paper that all had people that found them from a Google search, right? And she was like, I never had these customers before. These are new customers that have come into my business simply because you helped me rank. So I did that. See, I help people do that. Okay, now this might be a little bit too technical for you guys, but trust me, I'm not techie either, but this is how my brain thinks. And so I taught myself this stuff, and I taught myself to talk to business owners. So I brought in the stability for cash flow. This is income producing activity, right? Darren asked me, that's cash flow. It's small money, but it's regular money that comes in that pays for my subscriptions in Empower Network. Now, obviously now in Empower Network, we have the get 3 and you're free. So I just go get 3 customers that puts them on Kalatu Premium, Kalatu Basic, and even a couple of them on Inner Circle. And then you're going like, wait a minute, Desmond, customers don't need Inner Circle. They're not going to listen to all that mindset mumbo jumbo, right? So I said, well, how do I sign up my customers on Inner Circle? Well, I signed them up on Inner Circle because I tell them, I said, look, my, you know, consulting, you're setting up a website, and I'm going to help you SEO it. And so you need to book me for 3 hours of consulting time. Okay, it's the minimum. I've done this time and time again. It's 3 hours of consulting time to help you build your website, to show you how to SEO it, to help do some keyword research with you, and show you what to do so you can rank on the first page of Google. Okay, you know, and my going rate is $40 an hour, $40 US an hour. Okay, and so they're like, oh, $40 an hour. So I'm like, yeah, and you can only book me for a minimum of 3 hour slots. So, you know, basically it's going to cost you $120 US to book me. Right now, you can either pay me $120 through PayPal, or you can sign up on Inner Circle for $100, okay, and save yourself the $20. But Desmond, I don't need this Inner Circle thing. Yeah, don't worry about it. All those audios, that's a bonus for you. You don't even have to access them. What you're doing is you're paying through that system, and you're basically getting me the 3 hours as a bonus, okay, for free. You see, are you guys following me on this one? I mean, like, Darren, are you following me on this one? What I do with it? So I do that, okay? I teach my brand new people to quickly do that. So it takes the financial pressure off my newbie people so that they're not like struggling and going like, shit, I've been in Empower for 3 months, 6 months. I haven't signed up a single person. I'm spending $200 a month. This thing is costing me money, not making me money. So I teach my brand new people to quickly go out there and get some customers. Yes, this is going to require some sales. Yes, this is going to require you talking to people and asking some questions. Hey, do you need a website? Hey, do you need this? Hey, do you need a website? And it's some basic stuff. But once you get it out of the way, guys, the money, the customers, the money comes in consistently for me. That's why I've never been stressed in Empower Network, because while I worked my job at Sony, you know, I talked to people, I met people on a daily basis, and I networked. I went out to some networking events. I did some, you know, offline shit. Yeah, and I found some customers that needed, you know, and the first like 5 were hard because I did not know what I was doing. But I eventually refined my process, and I started finding out who needs websites, and I found people that, you know, were in that budget range and stuff. And so, yeah, I found people who are numerologists, people who are like energy workers. I found people who had daycares. I found people like, you know, in my local neighborhood, hey, there's a Montessori nursery kind of thing down here. Went and talked to the owner, right? Got to know them, right? There's a dance studio, talk to them, stuff like this. I taught Shin how to do that. He went and got a dance studio lady that he built a web page for her, like helped to build the Kalatu web page, and she's his regular customer. So that's cash flow every month. Okay, so does that make sense, guys? Next is the affiliate side. While doing this, while having a job, while having my kids, right? I started to blog. It's in here. I did Craigslist. I did Instagram, because these are free strategies. I did social media, which is the Facebook and all those kind of things, and YouTube videos, and I blog. This stuff, 1, 2, and 3 are free. These things you can do for free, but nothing is free. You have to trade time for it. So that's why I would be up until 1 a.m. in the morning. You know, my kids would fall asleep at 10. I'd be up till 1 a.m. in the morning. I'd be listening to audios. I would be doing some training. I would learn, do, teach. I would learn something, implement it right away. And then I'll blog about it, right? So I had to be teaching about it. And then after that, I'd wake up in the morning and I'd make my video, and the cycle would start all over again. Solo ads, I never did until about a year and a half into, more than that, almost 2 years into Empower Network. I only started solo ads recently in like late 2015. And Facebook PPC, I dabbled a bit in it. So I had a fan page. I built up the likes on it. I would post my blog on it, boost it a bit for maybe say $5 daily budget, right? And I got that budget from what? From cash flow coming in from here and a couple of affiliates signing up. And so it slowly snowballed up. Now, if you have the income or you have the credit to be able to get all in right away, do that, right? I was on a shoestring. I had to take 100% of my income in Empower Network to, you see this thing, to reinvest in paid traffic and scale up. This is the formula right here, guys. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Like, just if I could put numbers on it, moving around the clock here. If you do this thing here, it gives you cash flow that you reinvest, you pay traffic, you scale up. And so now it's, people just see the success. They see like Darren and me making like these big sales. They see us bringing in like 100 leads a day. Well, that's because I got money to buy solo ads. I can buy like 1,000 clicks, right? You know, I can test different solo ad providers. I can buy 500 clicks from this guy, 500 clicks from this guy, 500 clicks from this guy, test it all out, see what is working. But I've never stopped doing this stuff here. I've never stopped doing this stuff here. Why am I successful? Is because I'm the last man standing, right? 6 to 10 leads per day equals sales. Cash flow, $237.20. How did I come up with this number, guys? Anyone know? Anyone know how I come up with this number? These numbers here for cash flow and break-even point. 237, let me just break it down for you guys here. Okay, I'm not gonna give you a fish, you guys gonna figure this out yourself, but let's just do it along with me, right? It's $25 for basic, plus $72 to upgrade you to premium. But you know what? In my mind, I don't even split this up. It's all just one. I don't even talk about basic. Basic is for like grandmas that want to blog about their cats and dogs. $72, I just look at it as $97, okay? So, and you guys you should train your mind to think of it as $97. In fact, you know, I'm just gonna delete that. I'm just gonna make it $97 right off the bat. Let's not even waste time talking about $25. It's $97, guys, okay? It's cheaper than a dinner, a full-out dinner with a family. I go and eat sushi and I spend $120 with my family. I eat sushi with Darren. Funny true story, guys. I drank wine with Darren. I think it cost me $280 because we can. And it was fun. It was awesome, right? I didn't even blink about it. But it was like $180, and I think the tip was something like, I don't know, like $30, whatever, US dollars. But it was just some insane, you know, we drank some really good wine and awesome music and just great entertainment. But $97, guys, okay? So that's that, plus the $100 inner circle, plus $19.95. Right? That's your affiliate fee. This is not commissionable. We get that. You know, we have to pay for that so that we have the rights to on-sell our products and be legal with the FTC and everything like that and be compliant, right? And then I got $19 because I use Aweber. Some of you guys might use GetResponse or another autoresponder. That's your choice. But we, in my team, we use Aweber. So that's $19 a month until you get so many leads, then it upgrades the price depending on the number of leads you have there, right? So don't worry about that. Now, if you add that up, you get $235.95. Right? Just take a calculator and just add that up. It's $235.95. And so you'll be like, well, Desmond, that doesn't add up. How did you get $237 and 2? Now, I'm being overly simplistic here, and that is $1.25 for a domain name, because I believe in branding. So even though Empower Network gives us a default domain, like building a brand online and stuff like that, which are aged domains, by the way, and they're 24-year-old aged domains. So go look up the going rate for a 24-year-old aged domain and educate yourself on that topic. You know, if you can even find a 24-year-old aged domain that's on the market, most of the time they're bought up by the biggest, largest companies in the world, and their average going price is anywhere from $50,000 to about $100,000 on the market. You know, so what are age domains? Well, they've been around since day one. That's the whole .com bust, right? People bought those .coms hoping that they would accrue in value, right? Just like capital gains in a house and people flipping houses and stuff. Well, people hoped that those .coms would accrue in value. So they bought up all these crazy domains, you know, in droves, and then they hoped that the value would increase. And then after that, they would flip it and sell it for, you know, capital gains. Well, the people that bought building a brand online certainly made their money when Empower Network bought that domain from them. And now we get to piggyback off that. That's why Kalatu SEOs very well and easily, right? Versus you going and making your own WordPress website, you know, ooh, but I can make my own WordPress website and make it rank on Google. Nah, bullshit, right? We've got this. Why would you want to go do all that bullshit when you can actually just use Kalatu and just rank quickly and not have to waste time with all the technical shit? So you can go focus on the fun stuff, right? So that's just me. And then, oh, but your WordPress website gets hacked, right? You don't have any customer support like we do. I just contacted Zach, I just contacted Michelle, I contacted Vanessa. They take care of it for me. Why? Because I pay their salaries from this and from my commissions that I sacrifice to Empower Network, the small percentage that I give up to them, that pays for those people's salaries. So I feel like a CEO that has a full team of legal, compliant people, accounting people, support people, tech support people, you know, programmers that all work for me, the CEO, right? And I don't have to pay any of their salaries, big salaries like I used to when I owned my restaurants. Okay, we're talking like $35,000 worth of salaries. I don't have to pay that. I just pay $19.95 for that as a CEO. Okay, and that's how I get all that support. So I don't have to go build my own WordPress site. I can submit my pride. So take a look at this, guys. This 125. How do I get that? That is $14.99, which is the going rate for a .com domain from GoDaddy, and you divide that by 12, you get $1.25. So then you add that all up, and it equals to 237.2. How do I know my numbers off the top of my head, guys? Because I'm a business owner, I'm a CEO. This is the income producing activity. This is the mindset of what's made me successful, is I know my numbers and I can spout these off to you blindfolded, upside down, walking on fire with Dave Wood. Now, how did I get 637.2, guys? Well, where did this 400 come from, Desmond? Well, to be successful in this business, my annual budget, okay, is you need to have $637 of cash flow every month in order to be in cash flow positive. This $400 comes from events, right? One of the 8 core commitments is that you attend every single event. Well, have you ever done the mathematics on what an event costs? I know Darren and me, we go in style, right? You know, Darren's actually, the next time we fly, we're flying business class again. Hell no, no more freaking economy class, getting shoved by the window, getting shoved in the middle seat. No more of that shit. We're going first class, you know, business class, right? So, you know, that costs a little bit more money. But for the average affiliate, you're spending about $1,200 per event. Okay, so at $1,200 times 4, right? You know, and then you divide it by 12. You get $400 a month. So you add that $400 a month to your monthly cash flow, I mean your monthly costs, your overhead, this is your rent, this is your utilities. If you owned a restaurant, right, a business you know, establishment, you would have to pay overhead and salaries and shit like that. Well, in our business, that's the number right there. I just did it for you, 637.2. So this is a goal that almost everyone that joins needs to work towards. This is, you know, the income producing activities have to give you this. So now you can either do it by bringing in affiliates, or you can do it by bringing customers, or you can do a combination of both. I do both. I bring in customers as well as affiliates. Customers are more stable. Affiliates tend to be flaky. They come in because they're looking as a biz op. They're trying to make money. They don't make money within 3 months. They quit. I'm just going to give you guys the raw numbers, okay? 90% of people that join will quit. So don't be shocked. 9 out of 10 will not do anything or quit. It's just the numbers. You guys want to see something? Show you guys some real numbers here. Let's see. Go back to Chrome. Oh, I closed off my Empower. Right? I'm just, you know, just don't be surprised, guys. Just don't be surprised. I still love on them, like how Dave Wood does. You know, you just love on people. Darren and me were talking about this at the beginning of the call. I don't want to make this call overly long here, guys. But I don't know if you guys can see how many grays I've got there, right? Grays. People that just quit. Look at this. Gray. All quit. Refunded, quit. Right? Quit. But every now and again, you'll get a diamond in the rough. Someone will get all in, right? Get all in, right? This guy got all in and then quit. Well, not all in. He got the team builder and then he quit. I mean, the guy invested all the way up to $1,600 and he quit, right? He quit on himself, not me. He quit on himself, right? I got people here. Look at this. You see these? Right, guys? Quit. Right? Quit. Right? So 10% of my team. Look at that. Shin. Isn't it funny? Shin is actually all in and he's got sales. Felicia's all in as well, and she's been boss in my team consecutively. This last month, she's been kind of taken out of the game for a bit because she had some issues to deal with, but she's coming back hard. I know that when she she's the kind that, you know, like she took like a month off, like sabbatical, but she's back. She'll be in. I'll see her probably as a boss. She probably even hit boss before the end of this month, even though it's mid-February. I'm very confident she knows what to do to hit boss even before the end of the month. But look at this, quit, right? David Dar, right? He's up there. He's finished all the 4 steps. It's funny how these guys all finished 4 steps. They went through the videos, right? The people who got skin in the game actually succeed. I mean, we've seen this on other people's hangouts, other leaders' hangouts. You can look at it, see? A couple of people come in, they quit. When did they join? They quit, right? So I'm not worried about that. Kate, look at this, okay? She signed up. I didn't even know who she was. She signed up just from watching one of my YouTube videos. We were in Miami when this happened, January the 30th. Darren was with me. I have no idea who she was. She was there. We were watching we were on the live stream, and she's just signed up all the way up to the top level. I've been working with her, and she should be popping a couple sales. I'm very confident she should be hitting boss very soon. Andrew joined before we went down to Miami, literally a few days before we got on the airplane. He got 4 up here. Look at this. He's in lockdown now. He had 1 sale. Isn't that sad? This guy got inner circle, but then all of a sudden he's like locked down in all these things. He couldn't pay. So that's the 4 evils I talked about. Not managing his cash flow, right? And he's down. He had 1 sale. What a pity. This 1 sale gets passed up to me now unless he gets his acting gear. Now he's struggling financially, so he's just waiting for his paycheck, and he already did communicate to me he'll reactivate these things and come back in. In the meantime, I've worked with his new member to help that new member, right? So can you see the pattern here, guys? I'm just being as transparent as I can be with you guys so that you understand what it takes to be successful. Income producing activities, this is it right here, okay? I generate 6 to 10 leads per day, okay? And when I learn to do that, my leads are coming in. I don't know how I can show you my leads. Maybe I can show you my Aweber stuff. I can show you where the leads are coming in. But many of them, I would say half of these coming from YouTube videos that I made 2 years ago, a year ago. And then half of them, maybe a couple of them come from my blog, right? Because you can see in the signups, maybe I showed you the signups again. You'll see I've got signups that do say, like new intro, Chris, that's a YouTube video. Apology was me emailing people on my list. Lost 6 is me emailing people on my list because I had people on my list. Aweber, you can see that's Aweber 12, 5th, 2015. So that was on the 5th of December. I sent out an email through my Aweber list, and someone signed up from that. Find Out More Welcome, that's from them getting on my list, and the very first email they get in my autoresponder, right? Blog Lightbox, so you can see my Lightbox works, right? Uniline Magic, that was another email. Blog Middle Banner, so people sign up from that. Do you see people do sign up from my blogs, right? Yeah, guys, I hope you guys can just see that, right? So that you understand, trial Chris Jones second email. So there you go. So this person signed up from a trial, a Chris Jones video that I had on the second email that I sent out to them. So, people are signing up from different sources. I basically get a lot of signups from building up my list, my email list. Now, do you need a big email list? I'm going to be very transparent. I don't have a big email list. That's my list. Let me just refresh this. I've got 2. I probably won't have much leads today. Even usually by now, it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon. I'd already be at my 6 or 7. You see yesterday at 6, right? Today is 2 because I've been on this call with you guys. I haven't been doing any activity or marketing or anything like that. But usually in general, this 2 came in automatically. And if I was to check where this 2 came from, they didn't come in from any paid advertising. That's James Star right there. That's, it's none of this stuff here. The lead came in from here. This is, oh my God, this is like one of my original, that's my first list. So that's probably a blog. And Never Seen Before is also my blog. So 2 leads came in today from my blog, from some blog that I wrote sometime along the way. So blogging daily does work, okay? But it's 2. So I just keep putting out enough blogs so that enough people come in. Now, if you look at someone like Justin Verenja or like, Lawrence Tam or something, and they're doing paid traffic and they've got lots of blogs, and they've also got a lot of pass-ups from people joining their teams over the years and then quitting, and then all their blogs are still remaining as legacy blogs. That's what, Eli, you're making too much noise there in the background, buddy. You gotta be quiet, okay? That's my son, by the way. One of the pleasures of working from home is get to be around him, right? So it's this, right? So do you guys see that? That's my income producing activity. What else is an income producing activity? When I have a list, I email my list daily. I email my list daily. I haven't emailed my list today, but I emailed them yesterday. I emailed them, to invite them to Empower Hour. That was 2 emails in a day. I emailed them Sunday night to people, saying to parents, hey, do you hate, Sunday night, pay attention. I missed Friday and Saturday. It's kind of weird. I didn't send out an email. I normally have them all pre-written or send them doing, but there you go. That's Thursday. I invite them to the Thursday call. Even if you have 1 person on your list, you should be emailing on a daily basis, right? Or at least 2 a day, or at least 1 every second day, right? Now, give you guys a true story here. This number jumped when I started doing paid traffic, but I consistently would bring in about 100 leads, guys, 100 leads every week and a half. Here's some actual numbers again for you. if you're absolute beginner, I'm talking to the absolute beginner here. Okay, you bring in 6 to 10 leads per day, you'll probably pop a sale. I would say if you're using the company standard webpage, which is the absolute bare minimum, you'll probably get a sale one a week. If you're learning from Darren how to build custom-made lead capture pages, if you're learning from Top Producer Formula how to build lead capture pages, you should be able to increase that, and you should be able to get a sale every once in 4 days, 5 days. So if you got 4 weeks in a month, you're probably getting about 4 or 5 sales in a month. That's boss, right? If you're getting 6 to 10 leads per day. That's actual numbers. So you can pause the video, rewind, listen to my numbers again. Those are some actual numbers you need to write down. That's actual proof, right? It all depends on each person's, opt-in rate as well as also their conversion. Hey, you want to see something else interesting? Let me show you some other things. Opt-in rate, okay? Look at that, 58%. Now it says conversion there, but actually that means an opt-in rate. So this is for my $350 a day, income producing activity. I built this lead capture page that shows a 2-minute video that people know that this is about internet marketing, and they basically sign up, right? They opt in for this page. Do you guys want to see what this page looks like? Of course you do. Of course you do. So maybe I'll just go back here. I'll just do a preview. Pages. I'm being very transparent. I don't even show this to some of my own team members. Darren's getting the whole work here because I appreciate him. Preview. Okay, this is what it looks like. $350 a day, no more commute.
Hey there, if I can
right?
show you
Work
how to
from
make
home on your laptop.
$350 every single day.
I use Wistia, right? So that it can autoplay, and I can get rid of the play bar. I don't use YouTube so that people don't click on the thing on the bottom and go to my YouTube channel and get out of my funnel. They stay in my funnel. There's no holes in my net here. The fish get funneled down the funnel, right, to the end of the funnel. So they can't get out of this thing. The only way out, I don't put a lot of shit and bullshit all around here. It's very clean. It's very simple. My earning disclaimers, my things here are all linked to my Empower affiliate. I got my affiliate code on all these things here. They hit show me now. It pops up an opt-in. They opt in. No name, nothing. I keep it as simple as possible. They opt in. Let's just do a quick opt-in. Let's see. Osgood. Okay. One of my test emails. They opt in. What does it go to? Oh, okay. I'm already subscribed, so I can't use that one. You got to go back into your own list and actually
delete your name. I can show you how to make $350 every single day for the next 90 days.
Opt in. Let's put in one of these other emails. P. Namikawa. Show me. Okay, and where does it go to? It takes me to my sales page. And look at that, I've got a tracking link in there as well.
For the past 4 years, I've been a part of the company.
New video. Damn, they changed the video already. That's awesome. I just found out about that right now with you guys. That's crazy. But there you go. So, it's got the AND AD equals. And so that's how I can track. I can see that they came in from, the CL350 CJ Millionaire video, right? And they get to watch this, right? So it's coded. It's there. Now, some people do masking and all kinds of things here so that, you don't get to see the Empower Network and all kinds of stuff there. You can do that more sophisticated stuff. I didn't do it for this video, this link. But this is converting for me, guys, at... Okay, well, opting in, right? The opt-in rate is 60%. It just dropped recently. I don't know why, but it was actually it was averaging around about 60% for the last month. I've been doing this since January, guys, because a lot of my team members bitched and complained and said I made a whole bunch of sales. By the way, the actual numbers of sales I made in November, December was about 23 signups per month. Now, I noticed some people like Michael Martin are getting like 23 a day. I'm getting 23 a month, and that put me at gold, silver boss maker with Darren, and that's how got us down to Miami. So, you don't have to be a Michael Martin, but you can just do what we do, okay? And I got 23, per month, so it's a total of like 46 in 2 months signups. And then after that, people bitched and complained and said, because I did paid traffic and stuff like that. I had members in my team who are ungrateful who said that to me, and I love them, and they just don't know. So I don't blame them. They just don't know the amount of work I do. So I went back to free. I went back to free strategies. And in the free strategies over the last, since January the 1st till now, February the 23rd, I've had 728 people look at this video. I've had 425 of them enter their emails, which is a 58% opt-in rate. From that, okay, we know as an industry standard, we have about a 2% conversion, which means 425 people, 2% of that will give you what? 2% of 425 is, and I can do the mathematics, but just for you guys, non-mathematic people, times 0.02, or I can just hit, is 8.5. That's 8 people signing up. From this, I hit boss, right? 8.5 is normally about 8 people signing up, right? Now, obviously my numbers are higher than that because I've got other streams of ways of getting, but this is free strategy. If you guys even just did this, you would have 8 people signing up, you'd be hitting boss every month, right? So I did this, and then that's how I hit boss as well. So this is one of the strategies. I'm showing you guys everything. I'm being super transparent right now, guys. That's it. So there's that, right? What else can I show you guys? I don't know. I think that's it. I'm done for the showing right now, Darren. Is that giving value? Do you like that?
Perfect. So guys, we're gonna I gotta take off. I gotta fly downtown. But Desmond, I really appreciate you, man. Good, solid value, guys. I'm hoping right now that you can sort of see some light at the end of the tunnel. Just realize that we both started in the exact same spot that you are right now. What was different? We were so emotionally connected to the reality that we wanted that nothing and nobody was going to stop us. Successful people do what other people either can't or won't. Bottom line, successful people do what other people either can't or won't. So you got to make a decision. You got to draw a line in the sand and say, I will no longer accept my reality the way that it is, and raise your standards. Okay, that's what takes you to the next level. So Desmond, thanks a lot for taking the time. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you in Nashville.
Awesome, man. And you know, I just want to say thanks for giving me the mic for so long. You're an awesome leader. You listened really well. Appreciate you, brother. See you in Nashville, man.
Sounds good.